Hi, welcome to Christy's Sunrise. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you what I do with leftover roast. I'm going to show you 3 things that you can do with it. I'm going to film as I go and then I edit it because I got a lot of things I want to show you. So I'm not sure how it's all going to turn out, and I figured I just need to start. So we made a roast yesterday, and today I'm showing you what we do with the leftover roast the next day. So it's 2 meals, could be 3, it just depends. So let's get started. Over here I'm boiling some water for buttered noodles. Over here I am going to toast a bun, so you can see. If you wanted to have like hoagie buns, so I bought these rolls. They're not very expensive, 4 for $1.88. These are the rolls. I'm going to cut them in half. And get it toasted. Again, I got water boiling for the noodles. I have a package of a juice that you would use for the hoagie buns. Be like a French dip. You know, warm up a little bit of the roast left, and you add 3 cups of water. If you didn't do this, you can do the beef cubes like I've showed in previous videos, where it's 1 cup per 1 cup of water per beef cube. It was in the roast recipe how I do that, so you can refer to the roast recipe for that. So let me get some roast out. Get these toasted. That one's toasted. Let's toasted pretty good. I'm just going to toast them and set them aside for now. This is the roast. We have roast and potatoes. My husband ate all the carrots, so we don't have the carrots left. But that's okay. All right. These are toasted, so I'm just going to set this aside. This, you add 3 cups of cold water. There's 3. I'm going to add this package. And we're going to whisk it. And I'm just going to whisk all this together. This does not get very thick. So, you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to pull some of this juice out once I get it whisked together. And I am going to add some cornstarch to it so we can thicken it a little bit. This has a good flavor, I think. I do have the burner, so I'm cooking this. I'm going to throw some egg noodles. You won't be doing all of this because you won't be having all of this for your leftovers. I'm just trying to show you different ways that you can use roast leftovers. I'm not going to make a lot of noodles. These are egg noodles. If you want to see, these are medium egg noodles. Kind of like what you would use for a beef stroganoff. Okay, so not sure how much I'm going to add. I've got 3. There's 3 cups in here, so you would add 1 tablespoon per cup, but we don't want it real thick. So I'm gonna add 1.5 tablespoons. of cornstarch. Now, if you have like a French dip, it is normally real thin. It's not thickened. So you might not want to add any. I'm thinking to thicken it to pour over the noodles. Like I said, I'm just cooking a lot of different stuff to show you options that you can do with leftover roast. So I am going to do about 1.5. This is the cornstarch. I added 1.5 tablespoons. And you, of course, will do whatever you want, whenever you want, however you want. As you cook more, you'll know how you want to do everything. Okay, so I am going to cut up some of the roast. Again, I'm working on the hoagie bun first. So this is some of the roast that's left. I'm going to cut it up, turn this on to warm it up. This does have some gravy left from the other day. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm taking the fat out. I don't like the fat. Okay, that's probably good. Now, I'm just gonna do half a hoagie bun because my husband wants the stew. And of course, he gets what he wants. The noodles, I don't time. I just take them out and taste them when I think they're done. Now, to this, I'm going to rinse my hands. I'm going to add a little bit of this juice. And that's all you do with this is bring it to boil. Now, instead of mixing up the beef cubes to make the broth for the stew I'm going to make here in a minute, this I'm just trying to really get the meat warmed up. And you can smash it if you want. I said I'm just trying to show you some options. Now, if you were using all of the roast for the hoagie buns, you might throw all of the meat into this juice right over here. And the directions on this package says stir water gradually into gravy mix with whisk in medium saucepan, stirring frequently, cook on medium-high heat until gravy comes to boil. So it's going to be thin. That's why I was going to add some of the cornstarch to it. But I'm just trying to, like I said, show you your options. That's what I like to do. Add a little bit more juice to this. That's looking pretty good, isn't it? Now, I'll tell you another thing that you can do if you like onions. You can chop up some onions and throw it on here. Now, I'll tell you what I'm going to do to make the meat a little thicker. Over here is add some of this liquid that I mixed the cornstarch in. So some of this will go on a hoagie, half of it will go on a hoagie, and then I'll put some over the noodles, just so you can see. I'm just here to share what I know and what I do, and I do love it. Add a little bit of broth again. I'm going to go ahead and turn this off because it said just to cook until it boils, and it was boiling before I removed it from the heat. So we can say that that's pretty done. Yum, yum, yum. It said the onions, I would add onions. My husband's not a fan of the onions, but he's a fan of a few onions. But you know what? That's okay. Whatever makes him happy and whatever makes you happy, and that's why we're here. Okay. A little bit, whoops, get that stirred up some more. A little bit more of that. Now, put some of this juice in a bowl. This is pretty much done. So the first deliciousness I'm going to share with you, take the roast. We added some juice with some cornstarch to thicken it up. Put it on and you could put mayonnaise on your bun if you want. It's kind of like a French dip. And then you would just take it, dip it in the French dip, and there you go. Very hot. But so, there you have a French dip sandwich with leftover roast. Idea number one. Like I said, I don't time them. I just take them out and test them. They're done. Turn those off. I'm going to drain them real quick. I am going to add a slither of butter. You can see it's hard for me to juggle the camera and this. So here we have buttered noodles with some butter. Put the buttered noodles in a bowl. Add your beef. You want every little drop of it. There you have like a beef stroganoff. The noodles, the leftover roast with some noodles. There you go. Taste it. That's good. That's really good. I'm gonna have another bite. That's really good. If you don't want to use the buttered noodles, you can also use rice. Cooked rice. Okay. So these fun things are done. Now for what we're having tonight. So, I hope you can see in the pot pretty well. I don't know if I should have a bigger pot or not, but we're going to go with this one. All right. So, I'm going to add this juice to see, and then if I need to add any more liquid, I will dissolve the beef cubes. I'm going to add that. And then I'm going to cut the roast up. Take this out. Okay. And this is the roast. I'm going to cut it up. That's what's left. I'm not going to include the fat. You should know by now I like lean meat. And we're cutting up. That's gravy. Okay. Now some more meat, and it will get in smaller pieces too as it cooks. But that's the leftover roast. There's still some onions in it. You can see what I'm doing. Maybe I need to turn this way. I surely want you to see everything that I'm doing. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, and we had some potatoes left. So I'm just going to dump the potatoes in as they are. Well, I'm going to cut them up a little bit. They're already cooked. Oh my goodness, look, I found a carrot. I thought he ate them all. The carrot's good for the colors. This is a lump of gravy with potatoes. I said I'm going to cut the potatoes up. To this, we are going to add some corn, some frozen corn. Like I said, this does not have to be perfect. We are adding a can of crushed tomatoes. We are adding a can of green beans. And we are adding some corn, and I need to get the corn out. So before I add the broth, I'm going to add the broth we had left from what I showed you earlier, along with that. Now the green beans, I'm going to drain, and then I'm going to cut them so they're not so big. Okay, we got the crushed tomatoes. So we might not need to add any broth. Let's just wait and see. That already looks good, doesn't it? I'm rinsing the green beans because they're full of salt. You don't have to cut these, but to me they're a little big. So you do it however you want. If you just want to pour this whole can in there, go for it. A bag of frozen sweet corn. And you put in as much as you want. I'm going to put in about, I'm thinking that's about half a cup. Okay, now I'm not going to add any more broth because everything really just needs to heat through, but I am going to add some more seasonings. Because it's like a soup, we're going to add parsley flakes. My husband says alfalfa. And even though we're only going to simmer it, I don't know, about 45 minutes, I'm still going to add a bay leaf. bay leaves bring lots of flavor. And I'm going to add a little bit of basil leaves. It's a little bit of thickening stuff in here I'm going to get out. Y'all know that I like to get here. I don't like to waste anything. Oh, I know that's crazy, but I don't. Okay, so in here we have the leftover roast, the leftover potatoes. We have, there was a carrot left. We added a can of green beans. We added a can of stewed tomatoes. We added about half a cup of corn. We added a bay leaf. We added basil, and we added parsley flakes. And I am just going to put the lid on this, and I'm going to let it cook for about 45 minutes. You probably don't even need to let it cook that long. I'm just going to, it hasn't come to a boil yet. I'm just going to simmer it. But I'm going to cook it a little higher than a simmer for now. Once it starts boiling, because it'll boil quicker with the lid on it, then I'll come turn it down to a simmer. So I showed you the sandwich. I showed you the roast over noodles like beef stroganoff, and then this is what we're going to have next. So that's all you do is simmer it, and then it'll be ready. So I'm thinking I don't need to come back onto the camera. So let's just finish like this. Just simmer it and make sure you take the bay leaf out before you eat it. Thank you for joining me again at Christy Sunrise. I showed you the things I just explained today, the noodles with the leftover roast. I showed you what to do with leftover roast. And this is your last meal. This is what we're having tonight. And I hope you enjoy it. You have 3 options, or 4 if you add the option for the rice. And if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. And I would appreciate you subscribing, and I really would appreciate you sharing. So thank you for joining me in my kitchen, and have a great day.